Hi folks, welcome back to the shop. Today I want to talk about these Malco Eagle Grip Made in the USA locking pliers. You can see it's engraved right here on the side of the pliers. They've got it stamped here USA. If we flip them around, you'll see they're proudly made in DeWitt, Nebraska by Malco. And they've even gone as far as to engrave genuine Made in the USA right here on this bottom handle. Now, if you're not aware, Malco took over a plant from Irwin Vise-Grips. Irwin had a plant in DeWitt, Nebraska that was dormant for about over a decade. Malco purchased that plant in 2017 and started producing these Eagle Grip pliers. And there was a lot of discussion about this on YouTube and in other social media platforms. Project Farm tested these pliers. They easily tested #1. So they're very well made, but unfortunately, Malco announced in late 2022 that they were going to cease production of these locking pliers, but they were going to continue to sell the old stock. Now, these are still available. I know that when that announcement came out, these quickly sold out, and it appeared they wouldn't be available, but I've seen them recently back online, and that's why you see these here today. Actually, at the lowest price that I've seen them at. They originally were sold, I think, under the Snap-on brand, and they had Snap-on, engraved in the side, and they were, at one time they were $71. I saw them also at $96. So they were a lot more expensive. These were both had for in the low 40s. There'll be a link in the description of these products so you can check them out. I went ahead and picked them up because they will no longer be available. And of course, I already own a pair of Irwin 10-inch vice grips, and these are made in China, and they work well. But certainly are not made to the same standards that these locking pliers are. Now, one reason I guess we could theorize why Malco isn't, why maybe they're not going to continue production is, I think a lot of locking pliers these days have been relegated to being clamps, basically, kind of a tool of last resort. So perhaps a tool will be made to a high quality isn't as desirable as it would be if it was something you were using every day, or sort of a finesse tool. If these are predominantly used as clamps, and I can think of a lot of times where you're going to probably use another tool before you get to the locking pliers, such as a pipe wrench or a pair of Knipex pliers, channel locks, you name it. Anyhow, let's go over this product real quick and let's talk about some of the differences here and compare them to the Irwin here, the Chinese-made vice grips. So you can see that they've polished the chrome finish on the Eagle Grips, so it's got a polished finish. Of course, it's going to make it shinier and all that. If you look here, they do have the product number on here. This is these are the 10-inch version. It's the LP10WC on there, if you can see that. Some of the key differences are, like if you look at these vice grips right here, you can see they close the metal here on the pliers, and I think it's lightly brazed, right? If we look at the Malcos, you can see they've gone through the trouble of putting on this torque collar, right? They put this whole piece of metal down over the other two pieces of metal, and they brazed it all the way around. So it's much stronger at this point of the tool. So that's one key difference they've made. They've also made the hex on this nut a lot bigger, right? A bigger hex key. The knurling's more aggressive. Yeah, you're just using the pliers, you can feel that it's much more precise, much more easy to thread this in and out and change your torque. Also, the more aggressive teeth on these pliers as well, much more aggressive. It's going to hold up a lot longer than your standard pair of vice grips. Get incredible bite out of these. Out of this tool. Again, like I said, that was been proven in different tests. They do have a pair of cutters like most locking pliers. You can see there's a cutting edge here that goes against a flat edge for cutting wire. So that's one improvement that's on the tool. What else? You can look here and see if we compare these two. Take a look, like right here, if we look at the vice grips, you can see that here the tool has been stamped. This outer piece of metal has been stamped here. It's brazed on each side. Of course, it's stamped on each side. You can see on the Malco there, they put a pin here, right, on the pliers to secure it. And it's been brazed all the way down each side. So much more secure hold there. All right, let's do a comparison here of the adjustment screw. You can see them there side by side. The Irwin Chinese-made vice grip with the Malco Eagle Grip. 5mm hex on the vice grips. They say this 1/16 hex on this one. Though I find this 8mm hex seems to fit in there better, less play than the 5/16. So that's a comparison of that. The jaws are about the same on these two, except I've noticed that the Malco has maybe a little more extra teeth here. Now these Malcos come in both curved jaw like I have here, but you can also get them in flat jaw variety, so it's your choice. I like the curved jaw better. I also have a 7-inch pair here as well that I got, so it's just a smaller version of the exact same thing, with the difference being that they have the 7 in the part number here, LP7WC stamped on the side. But yeah, excellent opportunity, I think, to buy a good American-made tool. You know, these Irwins run somewhere around $14, so you know you're paying more. But you know, these if they're going out of production, this tool is certainly going to go up in value, just like the USA Irwins have gone up in value. Here's a quick look at what it came in. Now, mine didn't come in a box; it just came with this holder that comes with it, and they show instructions on the back here, basically, that tell you that you can use this as a wall mount. So you can cut along this line here and screw this to a wall using this hole that's already here, and it allows you to hang your locking pliers if you would like to. I guess you could lock them in if you wanted, or just cut that off. So just wanted to point out there's also a hanger. Didn't come in a box, didn't come in any bags or anything like that. So I guess they're selling old stock. I understand that the plant went up for auction in May. I'm not sure who bought it. If you know, let me know down in the comments who may have purchased that plant. I hope they continue production, or someone does. It's just great to know, even if, you know, I think one of the reasons they weren't selling a lot of product because a lot of folks already own a pair of vice grips or locking pliers in some form or fashion. And, you know, it took them 3 years to get production going at the plant. And they started with snap ones, so you know, I'm sure there was other things that affected things as well. But I just think with one thing with locking pliers, a lot of times I think it's, at least when I use it, it's usually like a third hand. It frees up my other two hands, and I use this as sort of a clamp a lot of times, or a tool of last resort, depending on what you're doing. Of course, everybody's got a different use case, but there's something that I think people probably are willing to pay a premium for, something they use every day, and that might, you know, a high quality locking pliers might lend themselves better to something you're using more routinely to justify the cost. But nonetheless, it's just great to, I wish these would still exist in the USA. It's just nice to know they're out there, even if, let's say, you're not in the market for a pair of USA made locking pliers. It's just good to know they're still out there and that someone's making them. And it is just a fine product, fine high quality product, and just good to know it exists. So hoping that production continues on that, it would be great. But I think right now is a good opportunity to pick up stock on these and get yourself a great pair of locking pliers while you still have the opportunity. With that, I appreciate you joining us today. Please remember to like and subscribe. Those actions help me to continue to bring content to you. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.